Good afternoon and welcome to today's episode on Main Issues. I'm going to be your host for today. My name is Lomanze Chiamaka and I welcome you all. Thank you for joining us on AC TV. Today is Thursday, the 10th of August in the nation's capital, Abuja. And I'm not going to be alone in the studio. I have two beautiful guests in the studio. A beautiful lady and a handsome one. So on today's main issues, we're going to be talking about the dangers of communicating with an ex. Don't go anywhere. Stay back and join us in this discussion. Drop comments, your opinion, and also what your thoughts on the topic that is going to be discussed. So I'm going to be starting from my left. Ladies first, of course. You're welcome, Alex.
Thank you very much.
It's so good to have you. You look good this afternoon.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And also, the amazing gentleman, Yinka.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How are you? I love your terrible waist hairstyle. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the dangers of communicating with an ex. We've read stories, we've seen a lot of things. People talking about how they are still in touch with their exes, and sometimes it doesn't end well. Obvious, not sometimes, most times, all the time.
Okay.
I want to say all the time doesn't end well, and maybe 90% doesn't end well, and 5% struggle, while 5 of them run out of it.
How do you mean end well?
Doesn't end well. Okay, when I say 90% doesn't end well, they run into dangers, they get caught, especially when especially when you as an individual is married and you're communicating with the ex. Probably the ex is also married or still single. Whatever had brought about you guys breaking up and all, I feel once an ex it's called an ex for a reason.
Definitely.
It's supposed to stay behind you and you move forward, especially when you are now married.
Definitely.
So, can I hear your thoughts? I'll start with Yinka.
Okay. Thank you very much. You've all stated it now that an ex is someone. Ex means formal, something out of something. You understand? And there is this perception. I feel the Nigerians' motive about exes being that there is always this disagreement before an ex occurs.
Becomes an ex,
which is not true.
Which
There
is
might-
not always true.
Which
Say
is
always,
not okay.
not.
Which is not agreement. So like, quit this thing. Let's just move our ways. But we are not enemies. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Okay, let's give for instance, I have kids with my wife, and probably something came up, and we just felt like let's just part ways and let's you go your path. That doesn't mean I can't just still go. It's a mutual agreement. You understand? And they might be and one thing about these exes are they understand you. They understand your boundaries. They understand when to respect you, and they understand how to treat you. Compared to someone who doesn't even know you at all, like somebody who
But
doesn't
do you know, hold.
Okay.
Do you know that this reasons you stated, there's a reason you shouldn't be close to them when you've separated for them for a reason.
Okay.
And then, let's say she's in another relationship,
Okay.
and you're in another relationship,
Okay.
and then you say you maintain a relationship
Okay.
with her.
Yeah.
You should, yes,
Yes.
if you have children
Yes.
before it. But then, the relationship shouldn't be close because she understands you and understands your boundaries and what's not.
Definitely.
She can easily play on you.
No.
She can easily make you. She can easily trigger your weak point, and before you know it, you're in bed with her again.
Not that.
Do you
not
agree?
That, not that.
You don't?
Not that. One thing I feel most Nigerians are always concerned is that there is always a tragedy
At the end of
at
it.
the end of everything, which is not true.
Okay, and
Do you
you,
get-
you don't agree with this,
I
right?
doubt that.
Do you get-
I don't.
I might have something to do with you, and maybe once we have this mutual agreement to split, and I feel like we are still connected.
But you know-
You do agree that for that to happen, one of you
Must have done.
finally decided that nothing wants to link me with this
But
person again.
come to think
will
of
make
it-
a conscious effort to fight whatever temptations will come up because you dated.
Okay.
So that means there was a time both of you were passionate about yourselves.
Definitely.
You know your weak point, she knows your weak point.
Definitely.
So if you decide to become friends again and
Definitely.
say, oh, nothing is going to happen, somebody is going to trigger it unknowingly.
Definitely.
Now it's left for the other person to control himself and say, babe or guy.
Okay,
chill.
before you
This
continue,
should not
before you
happen.
respond.
So why not avoid it
Before
by
you
staying away
respond.
from this person?
Okay.
You might communicate once in a while, that's fine.
Okay.
But why meet? What's
Okay,
up?
okay. Now, in this case, we're
Alright.
talking about communicating as an individual who is married. Even if you're single, you talked about having a mutual understanding,
Understanding,
why
definitely.
both of you should go your separate ways.
Definitely.
And Alex is of the opinion that the fact you had gone your separate ways,
Mhm.
you should all be that way. It should be that way.
Definitely.
But now, in this case, we're talking about the dangers.
Okay.
Do you agree that there are dangers in communicating with an ex? Please, let's bear in mind that we have 30 minutes on set, so they don't have to
Okay,
be
no
so we have to
problem.
be really
Uh,
concise with our answers.
In as much as I would not agree with that.
Okay,
I would
that
not
there are
agree
no
with that.
dangers.
There are no dangers
there,
to you.
There are actually no dangers, depending on. Okay, the thing is, we ourselves, we need to understand ourselves. It's not your ex, it's your ex. Anything you want to do, it's still left with you. It's left in your mindset.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Mhm.
Your ex, but it's not your ex. Once you've moved on, and you have that mindset that yes, I've moved on. Okay, what we just need is just connection. You understand? Sometimes you might feel down. Okay, I have an ex. I think she placed the call through me, and she was like, there's nobody I could really talk to at this time. That she wants to commit suicide. I've gone past it. I've moved on. Do you get it? I've moved on. But she felt comfortable
Talking to you.
talking to me.
Okay,
Communication.
that's fine. That's
Okay,
fine.
okay,
That's fine. So we
okay,
don't go too deep. So
okay,
Alex,
no problem.
you're of the opinion that there are dangers.
Yes.
Okay, can we
there are.
hear?
And because the dangers exist,
Okay.
I don't support watering that friendship.
Okay.
You might not be, you shouldn't be enemies when you break
Of
up.
course.
So-
Because
so-
for every reason that they decided to be a breakup in a relationship, it's just one person that wants it.
Okay.
The other person would just be. We have to conform and just
No,
accept it
that-
because the
that's-
other person has
that's
totally
not
given
true.
up. Yes,
That's not true.
Yes, it's same
That's
thing.
not
But
true.
why would
you
two
can't be in a
people
relationship
decide to go their
you
separate
can't just go your
ways?
separate,
Possible.
except the only reasons why it will be a mutual understanding is because maybe genotype comes in.
Okay.
But then
Okay.
one person still is very much in love with that person.
No.
It's the same way you say, oh, guys will be like, oh, there's a reason, oh, I like you, I don't want to date you, let's be friends with benefits. One person will catch feelings.
Of course.
It could be the guy self that initiated it. It could be the lady. But something would happen and one person will be more in love with the other person. That's how relationship works.
Okay, so I have some points that I've written down, and I would just like I'll read out one. Then we talk about how it affects or what the dangers are. So the first one is emotional attachment. Continued communication with an ex rekindle old emotional attachments and memories. This may lead to a sense of longing or nostalgia, which can potentially threaten the emotional bond between you and your current
Do you agree with that?
spouse.
Okay, now we talk about emotions and these things. It's natural.
Do you agree
But
with
don't
what she just
forget
said?
that
This-
don't forget
I want to
that
learn.
if you're
Okay.
married
Okay.
and you're still friends with your ex, your wife or your wife, I'm
could
talking
still
to
be
you
friends
now,
with her ex. Would you be happy with
is
that?
supposed to be your best.
Can I
When your ex understands boundaries,
can I
your wife
explain?
is what?
Okay, can I explain this?
You
now?
just picked up
Go
from
ahead
when
and
you're married.
Can I explain this?
Yeah,
now?
go ahead.
Having communication with someone. You see an ex living with even the couple in the house, and they are living fine.
Excuse
This
me.
thing is-
Yinka,
yes, definitely.
We're in
Yinka,
Nigeria.
we're in
Wait.
Nigeria. Come back.
Okay.
Come
when-
back
Don't go
home.
outside the country
Come back
again.
home.
Don't-
Come back
Wait.
Don't
home.
even try it. Don't go
Come
outside
back
the
home.
country.
Come back
okay.
home. Come back
We're
home.
Nigerian.
Yes,
Yes.
stop
Okay.
letting it.
Now, if we're going to rate the countries with the best, development, the lifestyle and these things, we compare those people with, with us, living us at the peak, you understand? They are the one we look at, number one. I'm just giving you a scenario. These things, we still have in our minds that once I have moved on, having communication with my ex doesn't mean I should have sexual emotion or sexual emotion is a feeling.
But don't you-
have
Do you know
to-
you would trigger? What if you trigger her?
triggering of emotions?
What if you trigger her? How you gonna
In
calm her
what way?
down?
We've moved on.
You have moved on.
You have moved on, but
You
has
have.
she moved
Has she
on?
moved on?
She has to move on.
That's the
You
problem.
She has to. But has she moved on?
It's
You
not.
are being insecure.
Okay,
you are being
so
very
now,
selfish
that-
because
that-
if you say
that
because you
means-
have moved on, then you can still be friends with
That
her.
means-
not knowing whether she has moved on, then you are being a devil.
It's
So Alex, I want to ask. Sorry,
I want to chip in something.
Sorry,
I want to
so
chip in
just
something.
before you
Okay,
chip
okay,
in.
okay.
So Alex, you of the opinion that emotions can arise.
Of course.
Emotions can
Of
arise.
course.
So now let's take for instance that you've been married, you're married, and your ex, probably maybe your ex is in a position that you need favor, and the only person in this whole world, know your husband will say no, and you need it career-wise. Would you communicate with the ex?
Hold on. Without being biased, I'll speak to my husband about it. He needs to understand where this thing comes in and how it's important to me and how it would
Better
take me a
you.
step higher in my career, yeah? If I talk to him about it and he says, if he understands, oh, how this particular, because before we get married, obviously he must have known that, oh, this person was my ex and this is what led to our breakup, yeah? So if he understands how the breakup was, and then he's now, oh, okay, this, that, babe, I don't want you to do this. I'll respect him and stay back. But if he understands it and he says, oh, babe, I trust you on this. Now, this person, if mostly if I was the one who left the guy, if he says, I trust you on this and this is business, I mean, after he gets this, and don't worry, go on.
Okay.
I must speak with my partner.
Okay,
it's
now,
important I do.
Do you trust yourself? I know
Of
you
course,
trust yourself.
Of course.
So now, do you trust that partner?
I don't. That's why if I go back and say, okay, because of this is why I came. If he starts going left, right, and I feel it that, okay, this is where he's going to, man, I back out.
You back out,
I lose that job.
losing everything.
Man, straight
you
up.
won't jeopardize
No way.
anything.
No.
Okay,
As far as I'm married, because it's a two-way thing. When the way I don't want to be treated, I want someone to treat me like that. Same. And he has to go and meet his ex for something. If he tells me about it, I listen. I'm like, babe, now you break this girl how to. She won't help you, sure. Okay. But yeah, now. If we're open, I mean, I'm a G with my guy. So we always gist about anything. If he tells me this thing in depth, and I listen, and then when he goes and meets her, and then he sees how it's going. If he sees it's going south, we'll come back and talk. I will go back to our table now.
Okay. So,
and we'll decide.
so to you, Yinka,
Okay.
what are your thoughts towards?
Explain some things to you before I
And
tell you how I
bearing
feel.
in mind that she doesn't laugh as much as when you are the one
I know,
cracking your.
I know.
jokes.
That's still what I'm saying. This life, everything is understanding. You understand? She made mention of something that when you asked her earlier that if you needed
Be in
a
a
favor,
position.
do you understand? Okay. You needing a favor at that moment, you're seeing her or the person as a normal
person.
because this is an agreement, this is an understanding. Your husband is aware of what's going on. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So there is no danger there at all. You guys are communicating. Your husband is, everything is being plain. They call it tabula rasa. It's all in a clean slate. You're communicating with your husband. This is how it's going. There is no danger as long as everything is being plain to the old to the old in all things you're doing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Now, why is it cool with this? And I'm cool. I'm dedicated with my husband.
Your
Okay, I need
wife.
my wife rather. You understand? All I need is something from you. You're my friend because you're my ex.
Just choose to communicate with their ex-partners after a breakup despite potential dangers. Money.
Loneliness. Let's see if their partner doesn't give them what their ex. used
So
to
why
give them.
did you leave the ex to
And
someone?
the ex actually call it quits for reasons best known to him. He might say, finances are not strong. Leaves. And then she
Okay.
marries someone with better finances, but that person is not emotionally available.
Available for her. So we're going to be looking at another point.
Okay.
Misinterpreted, intention, misconstrued by your spouse or others. Okay, if Yinka is out of this, this can lead to unnecessary gossip, rumors, or misunderstanding that impacts your marital reputation. So this brings me to a news going around social media like some days ago where a woman was killed by her ex.
Okay.
This woman has a daughter. She's married. She has grown-up kids, and she probably had told her daughter, like, okay, I'm going to so uncle's place, and obviously the daughter also knows the uncle's place. Now, on getting there, the man killed her and used her because the daughter had found, okay, my mom is not back at so time, and she didn't come back. She had to go look for her mom.
Okay.
Because now you have exposed your child
Okay.
to the risk that is involved with communicating with with an ex, because now your child has now been involved. Now look at that case, what we're just talking about now. The daughter has been exposed. She has seen that probably her mom has been cheating on her dad. Probably might not be cheating, probably because she always asks a favor from the man or something. They just keep talking and the man feel, okay, this is an opportunity. So in that case, what are your thoughts?
Okay, my thought about misconceptions is basically, I think it's a personal thing. It's a personal thing, because when you consider, I would like to say, when you consider some things, it's what's in your mind that you actually do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? What is within you? Those are the things that will cloud your mind and make your decision, regardless of what it what it is. I feel when we come to this notion that it is just this is what is going on, this is just how it is, we have moved on, we understand ourselves, we can be friends, I can help you, or you, and then we'll know that yes. But when you're having this mindset that if something comes up or something happens, or that means you yourself, you're not clean. Do you
agree with this?
It means in your heart you're not settled, you're not confident, or you're not sure of what you are.
Okay, of who you.
It's testing your confidentiality
so
in the love you have.
No, so thank you. But okay. Alex, do you agree with this?
Did you say being scared of communicating with your ex?
Yes.
No, it's not fair.
If you're scared of communicating, that means you can be moved. Yes.
No.
You've not moved on.
No.
Okay.
No.
So
no. See,
okay.
You know what we call temptation. You know what we call when you say, okay, you see this road, that this part is lead road, and I see that there's a ditch in front. Let me just take this other one. That's how it is. So maybe he might want to hit her again or something. But if it was a mutual understanding, mostly one person is the only one that is actually mutually understanding it. The other person just wants to. You don't need to beg the person. You just decide to just let it go. Okay, let's let it go.
Okay.
And then suddenly the person comes back and then wants to breed a friendship with you. It's fine. But making the friendship include visiting and all that, no, that's wrong. And that doesn't mean I'm scared. It means I'm avoiding whatever it is that will lead you to one day tell me that, oh, do you remember when you triggered my weak points? And maybe you could trigger it, and then there are times someone that you like will trigger your weak points. It would make you feel good. And then there are times someone you don't like will trigger your weak points. You would get angry and want to break his head.
Definitely.
So why not avoid that?
No, that depends on.
That doesn't mean I'm scared. I'm just avoiding something from happening.
That actually depends on that's what you said. Communications. There are different types of communications. When it is going wild, that is when it's wrong.
Then why not avoid it? You are my ex already. Why not avoid it? Why do I need to talk to you? You're not my enemy, but I don't need to talk to you now, guy. No.
Okay, why should you talk to me?
I don't need to talk. What I want to talk to you for? What you want to do for me?
Okay, wait till I go do for you.
I don't want me you do it for me. I don't want to be indebted to you. How about that?
It's not indebtedness.
It is because if I get something from you, I'll be indebted to you, and I don't want that.
Okay.
How is that not fine?
Are you telling me the other person you are not is not indebted to you?
That's his business now.
No.
That's what I do. If you come to me for a favor, if I can do it for you, why? I'll do it.
Okay.
Arm's length. We don't need to sit to do. I'll get it done or give you a connect to do it.
But
don't come to me and tell me because I did this. You want to thank me. Don't thank me. Don't worry.
This issue of being distancing from the ex is more rampant in the female side. I don't know. Because guys,
I want to get something straight and clear here now. You said it's being rampant with the female gender.
Definitely.
Okay, now as a man, how would you feel? Okay, you said
he's an indifferent person.
You're very indifferent,
and
I do.
No, he has feelings.
Do.
So now, as a man, being friends with your ex who is married, do you mind visiting your ex's house in her husband's house?
We can all gather together.
No. I mean
you. Is not normal.
I mean you visiting your ex in her husband's house, in her marital home, like chill with her,
and her husband would be there.
No, not there.
No, he probably might not be around.
That is what I'm saying. You people mind. It means say I gas come your house when you know your husband no there.
Yinka, see, is it
communication? Okay, what's up? How you doing? What's up?
She asked a question.
How's the business going?
She asked question.
Your personal growth, your business growth.
She asked a direct question. You had to go visit your ex. If she calls you, hold on, let me rephrase your question. If she calls you and say that she needs your help for something because she's going through something, or maybe she hurts her leg.
Okay.
I'm not sure with the kind of mindset I feel you have. You're not going to ask her, well, have you called your husband? You will rush to go and help her, yeah?
Me?
So if you get there now, you are with her, and then what her problem is that she wants you to be with her. What are you going to do?
That's what I'm saying.
Communication.
That is what I'm saying. You people, I think you have a different definition to what communication is.
What's your definition of communication?
Communication is just giving out information, checking up on people, their daily
but,
activities.
In this case we're talking about communicating with someone who you've been sexually intimate with.
Okay.
And for some reason, you guys had to go your separate ways.
Definitely.
Now, emotions have been shared.
Definitely.
You've both cried together.
Definitely.
You have laughed together. You have won together.
Definitely.
And you have also lost together.
Yeah.
Now, bearing in mind all those things, and this person has moved, you have moved, do you think communicating with that person is not something that should be worried about?
Okay, the only time I will feel worried is if the other partner has probably not gotten, she's not
Over.
stable, or she hasn't gotten over. That is where
That's why I said
that
was
is
the
where
point where I said
that
you're
is
a
where
devil.
emotions can grow. You can't tell me you are
No,
you are
it
in
won't
you
grow now. It won't grow with you
or-
because your mind
or
is
it
made
will
up. Abi.
rekindle. No,
It's only
what I'm
that.
trying to say is I husband. You understand?
Yeah.
There is nothing I should say that will actually make her want to move or change.
Really?
Definitely.
That's what you think.
She hasn't moved on.
Yeah, but she's married already now. Then why you still watering her head? Hey, water her head, but you know that divorce, they fuck her
If
head.
you
You
say
don't know now.
if you say I get job for you, say okay, Alpha, now it be this. You don't okay. What if the person you that's your ex now is the one that will later help your husband become something great in life? You understand? Not everybody has this mindset. That's what I'm saying.
Should I tell you guys?
Now
Now
only-
communicate with their ex and a lot subs.
Guys,
A lot
the way I say, now,
sometimes
wait.
it's not them that initiate it. Sometimes it's ladies that initiate. Sometimes it's them that initiate it. Why? Because they just want to enjoy themselves. They don't. You know. When it comes to relationships, a guy can be intimate with a lady and not feel shit for her. Yeah.
Definitely.
A lady can be intimate with a guy. Sometimes it's very few times that a lady can actually distinct between that feeling and then just sex.
Whatever it is.
But guys can actually do it. That's why you see a man cheat on his wife and still come back and tell his wife he loves her. That person is cheating on. Sometimes they will cheat on their wife with someone they actually love, but they know how to distinct their feelings. It's easy for them to do that than ladies. But a lady now would do that and then fall in love. Now you as a guy now, she's already your ex, but you still want to have time with her. You
Okay,
enjoy
so
her
thank
time, and
you.
will
Thank
still
you.
have that
thank
time.
you.
What
Okay,
are you
so
saying?
final,
You can't deny that, except you're a virgin, and I understand
Nah.
you.
Alex.
Because all these things you're saying.
I feel
Okay,
like
wait.
you
Sorry,
guys-
before you
make
continue.
sense.
Sorry,
your
before you
minds are
continue.
clouded
Before you continue.
sexual
With
or whatever.
One
It's
minute.
not reality.
Thank you guys.
You are
Thank
just-
you
It's
guys.
normal. You are
Thank
scared.
You,
You are
thank you.
scared.
Thank you. Yinka.
You are not confident
Alex,
of who
thank
you are.
you.
That's
Thank
all.
you. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
No
So
problem. No
thank you.
problem.
So in 1 minute, can
Okay.
you sum up why you feel communicating with an ex is not a danger at all?
Okay. An ex is not
1 minute.
Okay. Your ex is not your enemy.
Okay.
Do you understand? And we should always. Okay, it's becoming someone's lover or boyfriend. It's a growth. It's a process. Do you get it? But maybe from friendship, to this. So becoming an ex, I feel it's a growth. Maybe it's just a drop down level. When it's either your friend or your boyfriend, you understand. And probably if you are in a relationship, you mind the way you communicate. It's not a danger, but you mind the communication.
You tone down on the communication.
Communication can come up from anybody, even it might not be your ex. It might be somebody in the street. Emotions can.
Okay. I see one of our producers hailing you and giving you thumbs
Definitely,
up.
they
And
always
well
thumbs
done,
up.
well done. So Alex, over to you. You are of the opinion that there are dangers in communicating with an ex. Can you just sum up in 1 minute and tell us these dangers and why an individual should avoid?
I think in everything
communication?
I've said most of the reasons, so I don't think I need to sum up. I just still believe that you're an ex to someone for a reason.
Yeah.
That partner, that's the only way it can go smooth, and you'll be like, okay, someone knows about this. It's not something that just wants to happen. However, stay away from your ex. You broke up for a reason. Let it be.
Do whatever you think is right and whatever chaos in your family. As much as you want to be friends with your ex, I think